Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 30th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins, and let's get into it. And although I did say it was September 30th, it's basically October because we have playoff baseball today. A lot to talk about. Four games today, and for the wild card series, four game ones. The best pitchers are playing today. They're on the mound today. It's going to be very exciting, and we'll start in the Central and the Central matchup, and we're also going to go through our predictions for each of these series. So first up, we have the Tigers at the Guardians. The Tigers, of course, blew a big lead in the AL Central, and the Guardians came back down 15 and a half games to win the division, which means they'll host this series, the 3 seed versus the 6 seed in the American League. In my opinion, I think that the Guardians are going to win the series. I don't think they're going to win today because of Tarek Skubal, who is probably going to win the Cy Young for the second straight year in the American League. He is so good. He might be the best pitcher in all of baseball. But I think the Guardians are hot, and I think the Tigers are not. The Tigers crawled into the playoffs, kicking and screaming. Really, they had a big collapse in September. Meanwhile, the Guardians had a fantastic September, which allowed them to catch the Tigers and win the division. So even if the Tigers win later today, I still think that the Guardians are going to win the series just because they have home field advantage and they are the hot team right now. Of course, the regular season doesn't matter once you get into the postseason, but momentum definitely carries over. So I think Scooble will have a nice game today, but I still have the Guardians. I'm taking them to win this series in 3, 2-1 in Cleveland. So that's my first prediction. The next prediction, we're going to stay in the American League with a big dramatic rivalry going down in the Bronx. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Yank Sox, man, it always is a big deal, and especially this late in the season in the playoffs. So I think that the key to this game is um, the Red Sox pitching, specifically Garrett Crochet. I think, like Scooble, the Red Sox are going to win game one just because of who they have on the mound. Now, with that being said, the Yankees have Max Fried going tonight. And overall, I think the three Yankee starters that are going to pitch are probably better than the three Red Sox starters that are going to pitch. But while Fried is a very good pitcher and he has 19 wins, I think that Crochet is just going to dominate today. And I think that the Red Sox will take game one. But like my prediction for the Tigers and Guardians series, I think that the Yankees are going to win the series 2-1, but they're going to drop game one. That's my prediction for that. I think if Roman Anthony isn't playing, I think that's a um, big loss for the Red Sox. While the team is good, it feels like up and down, the Yankees lineup is just very good, better than the Red Sox. And I think even though Crochet will have a strong game one, I think the Yankees will take the series. So that's my prediction. I have Cleveland winning the series and going to Seattle, and I have the Yankees winning the series and going to Toronto, which will be another exciting series. And now let's shift gears towards the National League, and let's talk about what I believe is the most exciting series baseball wise. Obviously, Yankees Red Sox is a huge deal, but I think that the Cubs and the Padres series in the wild card is the most entertaining baseball wise. I think it has the most stars. I think it has the best offenses combined. That's why I think the Cubs and Padres series is going to be a good one. It's going to be Matthew Boyd, the All Star, going for the Cubs today. It's going to be Nick Pivetta going for the Padres, and I do think that it's pretty evenly matched in this pitching matchup to start the game. I'm not really sure who's going to win, but I think it could go 50-50. Um, Both have had good years. And really, what I think it's going to come down to in terms of the whole series is the right fielders for both teams. I think uh, Kyle Tucker has got to show up. He's one of the few on the Cubs roster with playoff experience, him and Swanson and Justin Turner. But I think if Tucker has a big series, he can go earn himself the money he desires next season, as well as allowing the Cubs to advance. So, and then on the other side, I think Tatis has got to have a big series. He's the best player on the Padres, and I think that if he can hit some homers, that's definitely going to give the Padres an advantage. This, in my opinion, is the closest series. I think it's going to go three. I think it's going to be super exciting. Um, and just balancing out the teams, I think starting pitching advantage, and probably going to go with the Cubs because of Boyd's the All Star, and I just think it's slightly better than the Padres. Although, you know what? Now that I think about it, the three pitchers that will be pitching in the series, I'm gonna change my answer actually. I'm gonna say the Padres have the advantage in starting pitching. And although both bullpens are good, the Padres have the best bullpen in baseball. The Giants did until we traded everyone away and Miller and Rodriguez got hurt. But the best bullpen in baseball is definitely down in San Diego once they added Mason Miller. It's a huge acquisition. It'll be his first playoff game if he gets in today. But you also got Suarez and Adam and all those guys down there. I think Morahone as well. I think the Padres have definitely have the advantage in the bullpen. But as for the roster, I think that is very close. Defensively, probably the Cubs because of PCA in center field, and they also got Tucker and Swanson. But the other side has Tatis, who's a Gold Glover. You got Machado over there, and Merrill. Definitely good defense on both sides of both teams, really. And then offensively, I think I'm going to go with the Cubs to have the advantage there because of, just who, like the Padres lineup is definitely loaded and the Cubs lineup can be hot and cold. But just the way that Seiya Suzuki's been swinging the bat and they have Horner as well, the Padres lineup is very strong and it's one of the most exciting in baseball when it's going right. But I think the Cubs have the advantage offensively, especially playing at home. That's another advantage for the Cubs. So, pitching wise, the Padres edge out the Cubs, but the Cubs have the good offense and defense. I think I'm going to go with the Cubs. The Cubs in three. It's going to be a very, very close series. And I'm probably only picking the Cubs just because they're at home. And if it were the other way around, I'd be picking the Padres. I think that'll make the difference in the game. And then there's only one more series remaining to talk about, which is the Cincinnati Reds and the LA Dodgers. The pitching matchup tonight is going to be Hunter Green and Blake Snell, and this is one that I'm excited for. Hunter Green dominated the Giants on opening day, and we know who Blake Snell is. He threw a no-hitter for the Giants last year in Cincinnati. So that is someone to be keeping an eye on. He did throw his no-hitter against the Reds. And I think that the Dodgers will win the series. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, but I do think the Dodgers are going to win the series. Their lineup is just it's good. It's a good lineup. And it's way better than the Reds lineup. The Reds, I mean, they did make it to the playoffs. They definitely deserve to be there. But it kind of feels like they had a good September, obviously, to get in. But it kind of feels like they just backed their way into the postseason. It kind of just fell to them. But they've been playing good ball recently, so you never know what happens in October. Starting and pitching wise, I'm just gonna go Dodgers. I think the Dodgers have the advantage in every aspect, although the bullpen is pretty shaky, so maybe it'll be the Reds there. But I think that the Dodgers will win the series 2-0. But I do want to say this: if the Reds were to have a chance, it would be because of the starting pitching. And you got Green game one, and then probably Lodolo game two, Abbott game three if it gets there. Those are three good pitchers, and if they can all deal, if they all shove on or their respective games, then the Reds could have a chance to take down the defending champs. But realistically, though, I just don't see that happening. So, which would be unfortunate because I want to see LA fall just so badly, as well as the Padres. Um, which is how it is. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Tigers, Guardians, Cubs, Padres, Red Sox, Yankees, Reds, Dodgers. They're gonna be fun series. I love playoff baseball. It's gonna be so much fun to watch, especially if it was anything like last year. We know there'll be some fireworks. So I picked the Guardians to win, the Cubs to win, the Yankees to win, the Dodgers to win. I picked the home team to win, the higher seed to win. It's kind of boring, but you know, that's just how it is. I feel like all those teams are better than the other team. So we can also talk about what's going down for football and what happened yesterday on Monday Night Football. There was a doubleheader. The Dolphins beat the Jets 27-21, and the Broncos beat the Bengals 28-3. We'll start in Miami, where Tyreek Hill got hurt, and it looks like he could be out for the year. It's a scary, scary knee injury, which is unfortunate. He's a fantastic player. But the Dolphins got their first win of the year. And they looked better, but it was against the Jets, so grain of salt. And then the Broncos just crushed the Bengals. I mean, that was a bad showing from Cincinnati. I think they look bad. They look dead in the water. And maybe Trey Hendrickson would like to be a 49er for 1 year. How does that sound? But the Broncos look good. 28-3 is a pretty dominant win. So good job, Denver. Good job, Miami, for winning. And you know what? I forgot to talk about this. Let's go back to baseball real quick. Um, we'll end with before the playoffs begin. This is my prediction for the World Series. I think it's going to be representing the American League. Seattle will beat New York in order to advance to the World Series. On the other side, the Phillies are going to beat the Brewers to advance to the World Series. And when the Phillies and the Mariners play, the Phillies will win. That's my prediction for the World Series. I got Philadelphia beating Seattle in, let's just say, seven. Let's hope it's exciting. I think it's going to go seven. Those are two good teams. And obviously, I would want the Mariners to win, but realistically, I think it's going to be the Phillies. Um, Tell you what, though, if the Dodgers win the wild card series, Phillies Dodgers might be the most entertaining series in the postseason. Those are two stacked offenses, and it's going to be fun. The playoffs are fun. Watch some playoff baseball today, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow.